timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. For the first time with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Let's go. That's how we do, D. That's how we do. They don't want to know. They don't want none of this.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Play clock winding down. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Palmer. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
To throw, Kaiser. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Kaiser from the gun on third. He finds Coates complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. A first down carry now for Crowell. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken the early lead. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl. But 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. but he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
He had to go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Play action. Now Palmer. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 2 veterans there. Palmer to Fitzgerald. 53 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Both the run and pass still in play here on 3rd and goal from the 3. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Now Phil Dawson, who spent 14 years in a Browns uniform, from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. Sammy Coates now to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. Going underneath for Crowell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go!
Play fake. Kaiser. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. After the penalty, it's Crowell. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. They'll try to run for it with Crowell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes Arizona's offense back onto the field. Earlier we were talking about the quarterback position. A big decision coming up on that spot. But, you know, Cardinal fans and fantasy football owners, I guess, so disappointed when David Johnson went down in the opener with a fractured wrist, wound up missing the season. That kind of got overlooked in 2017.
It certainly did, and it was the first big domino in why the Cardinals didn't really make a run at the playoffs this year, because of David Johnson's ability to run it and catch it and initiate all the offense that the Cardinals wanted to run. The defense still held up. Calais Campbell went to Jacksonville. The defense was still 6th in the league. But offensively, we're not nearly the same team.
On second down, Palmer. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On third down, Palmer. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this will be taken at the 13. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Browns offensively getting ready to take the field again. If you take a step back, Charles, last 2 years for the Browns, 1-31. Worst 2-year stretch in the 98-year history of the NFL. Everybody knows that story. And the playoff drought at 14 years. Where does this franchise turn?
It's one of the great questions, because I was on the record last spring that their draft looked about as...
Isaiah Crowell, he's all alone. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Isaiah Crowell with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Following the interception, Kaiser. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge. And that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll run with Crowell, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. In motion is Coates. Two minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. First down, it's Palmer. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. From midfield now, here's Palmer. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Myles Garrett able to drop him for a loss of 4. Now Palmer to throw on second down. Caught right side, Gresham. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
Such a presence, Carson Palmer.
Very much so. Has had it ever since he entered campus there and still has it today.
They go play action now. Palmer. And now this one's intercepted. A third interception for Palmer. Picked off around the 27. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a handoff to Crowell. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard second down. Five yards left for the offense. It's second down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On play action, Kaiser. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call or get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot. I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened It fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now Palmer on first down. He's going deep. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the red zone now, here's Palmer on first down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They begin with a run by Crowell. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Corey Peters busting through to get him for a loss of 6. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Look at the dance and the juke. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, here's Palmer. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. The 2 old workhorses, Palmer and Fitzgerald, connecting there for a Cardinal first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits, and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be something.
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for the Browns. And even 40 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back.
They'll run it again with Crowell. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down in the red zone this time. Here's a give to Crowell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the gun, Kaiser. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Corey Peters in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. 3rd and long for Kaiser. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
To throw on 2nd down. Palmer caught on the left side. Fitzgerald. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now it's Palmer. And able to find John Brown. They'll get 19 yards there. And the Cards are going to have a first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They go play action here on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. He's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Kaiser now on second down. Dancing to his left. A swing pass caught. A good pickup there at 22. Red zone opportunity. They come out here in the eye. Kaiser going to try the sneak. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Deshaun Kaiser scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And the lead is now 24. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They begin the drive with Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That good for 19 and a first down.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we play.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 56 yards. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the run, it's Crowell. Room here, Isaiah Crowell. He's all alone. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, 47 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Looking to throw on second down. Palmer throwing the out route incomplete. It's Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Palmer to Brown, and the Cardinals move the chains. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. That one was intended for John Brown, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Shift together here from the D-line. 2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So there you go, sack number 1 in the career of the number 1 pick, Myles Garrett.
Oh, I can't wait to see how he continues to adapt in the NFL. We know he's got speed. We know he's got length. What kind of change-ups and counters is he going to have to deal with those NFL offensive tackles?
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League.